not right for a man to put his hand on you. It is not right for you to be experiencing verbal abuse. It is not right for you to be experiencing emotional abuse. It is not right. It is wrong. Whatever form of abuse that you are experiencing, it is wrong. And you need to stand up and you need to say, enough is enough. I remember for years, I went through domestic violence. I went through emotional, physical, and verbal for years. But I believe I wrote a book called Break the Chain, Angel May, No Excuse for Abuse. And you can get this on Amazon. And in it, I quote, "It is important to be safe always. This is your primary focus. It is also important for you to realize that there is freedom from abuse." And I want to say to you today that there is freedom from abuse. Culture. I grew up in a culture where my mom would say that, and my dad would say, you should never tell anyone about your business. Your family life is your family life. It is not for you to share what you're going through, what is happening. And I want to say that there are a lot of women, cultured women, women of color that will not share what you're going through simply because of what you are being taught, simply because it's cultural, because you feel that you cannot call the police, you cannot telephone an agency and tell them, right? It's just not within you to call the police. It's just not within you to call the agency. It's just not within you to do any of that. Why? Because of what you've been taught. Now, I remember that I had to come to a place where I had to say to myself, am I going to live or am I going to die? And I chose to live. I remember one day I was physically abused so bad that I could not walk. I was beaten so bad that I could not stand up. And I was beaten on the road. Now you can imagine I walking with a stroller and him beating me and beating me and beating me till someone literally had to lift me up and called the ambulance, and I was rushed to hospital only to find out that I had broken ribs, only to find out that those ribs were healing, that I didn't even know that when they done the x-ray on me, I was told that I had broken ribs that was actually healing by itself, that I didn't know from previously. All right, that had happened previously, that I didn't even know that I had broken ribs because I was beaten previously before so bad. And what did I do? I just kept on living. I just kept on going and pretending that everything was all right. And everyone thought everything was all right. Why? Because I was beaten in my house. I was beaten every weekend. I literally did not want to see a Friday because I knew that he would go out on a Friday and I wouldn't see him again until the Sunday. And I knew where he was. And if I questioned him about it, about his unfaithfulness, right, then I would be beaten for it. So, I was living this lie. And so I would go out and pretend to everyone that I was fine. In fact, I was not fine. I was smiling and laughing. My friends didn't know, but my family knew. My family knew what was going on. But my friends, they didn't know. People within the church, they didn't know. Why? Because I dressed wonderfully. I hid the scars very well. And I just continued with life. And I want to say to you today that no, it's got to stop. And in my book, I've written, it is important to remember the Lord will be on your side, but it is imperative that you think about your safety. And in this book, what I try to do is to say your safety is important and you have to value your life. You have to value who you are as an individual. And if your husband or your partner, yes, is treating you badly, don't ever think that it might not lead to death, because one hit, you don't know. It could pick up something that could take your life, hitting you at the wrong place in your body. That can take your life. You never know, just one blow, and that's it. A knife, just picking up that knife, in anger, in rage. That is it. That gun that he picks up and threatens you, he can pull that trigger. You're dead. You're gone. And that's premature death. And God does not want you to die before your time. Now, in my book, I say, do you need to be living with or dating someone that is abusive, violent, and aggressive, threats you treats you with no respect, threatens you all the time, verbally and physically takes advantage of you constantly? If they abuse you today, they will do it again tomorrow. Never make believe it will never happen again. It is not about love. You may love someone, but at what price are you willing to pay for your love? They are certainly not worth sacrificing your life for. It has to be about you living to see another day. Ask yourself the question, why? Why would anyone remain living with someone that is violent? Why would you live with someone that is continually verbally abusive? Why? You were created not to be abused or misused. I want to say to you, if you're listening today, you were created for a purpose and you must fulfill that purpose right now. Right now, you've got to fulfill that purpose. But it's really up to you to believe that nothing is impossible and that you can step out and that you can walk away and that you can do something. You were created not to live in stress or distress, to be beaten, misused, or abused, rejected, and tossed to the curb. No. Why is this? Because you're beautiful and you're wonderfully made. And you need to believe in yourself. Your self esteem right now may be way low. And you might not have a self esteem right now. But you got to believe, yeah? Destiny has it for you to change. And destiny has it for you to be listening to me right now. And it is your opportunity right now to make that change in your life. Now, I want to say to you, it really is up to you for change to come. And it is really up to you to realize that there is a way out, because no one has the right to control or abuse you. And there is a power within you. Right now, there is a greater power within every person. And you've got to believe that you have the power to leave. You must believe and you must love yourself. And if you have children, then you must love your children also and say, you know what? I choose to live and not die. You cannot love someone more than you love yourself. You cannot have all your emotions locked up in one person and say that you love someone when you see that their attitude and their behavior makes you feel so afraid. You're hurting. You're hurting so much. Your tears, you're crying. You've had enough. You deserve the best and nothing less than the best. So why are you putting up with it? Why? Why are you not trying to bring about change in your life? And I just want to say to you today, Yes, that enough is enough. I want you to ask yourself this question: can I physically, mentally, emotionally take any more abuse? Do I want to live or die? I want you to ask yourself that question. Do you love yourself? Do you love your children? Do you have family and friends that really love and care for you? Are you prepared to gamble with your life? It's not about anything else, about how he feels or she feels. It really isn't about them. It's about you right now. And I'm talking to you and saying it's time for you to make a decision. And you must be determined and believe that help is available. And I want to say this also, that if you don't want to leave and you're experiencing, you can take out an injunction. You can do something. They can leave, force them out of the house. Don't be afraid of doing that. All right? Don't be afraid. If you own a house together, it's time for that house to be sold. Don't be afraid of starting again. You can start again. Don't look at your age. Don't look at anything that you're going to be alone. Don't allow fear to stop you from making those decisions. You have to believe that there is a God in heaven and that he is able to help you. That's you know why I talk about God? Do you know why? Because that's who took me out of my situation. Because I truly believed in God. I truly believed that God was able to help me. I truly believed that nothing was impossible. And I took a step of faith. And I believed that even though I had my children, I said, enough is enough. And I took my children and I walked out. But in hindsight, I would think nowadays it's time for you to think, okay, if you own a house, it's time for him to leave. Yes. But if it's physically impossible for him to leave and you cannot take out an injunction, and I would suggest that you go to agencies or contact a domestic violence agencies and see what options that are available to you and see what you can do, because they can put you in a safe house, they can put you at a safe place. And I know that in England there are places, you just got to say that you want a safe place and or a safe space, and they know immediately what needs to be done. So there is help available, and you can come out of what you're in right now. But you have to literally make that step and take that step and say, enough is enough. Make that call. Don't make yourself too vulnerable. But if you make a telephone number, make sure you delete those numbers, because if it goes in through your phone, you want to make sure you cover your tracks. It's very, very important for you to do that. Be safe. I always say you must be safe. Always think safety. You do not deserve to be abused. Yeah. Drugs, alcohol use, they are not causes for domestic violence. So don't be fooled by that. If they drink a lot, no, no, no. Don't say, oh, it's because of the drink. No, no, no. It's not because of the drink. If they are alcoholics or if they are drug users, no, 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 it's not because of that. No. Okay, this is not the cause for violence. Never allow that fear of saying, oh, it's because of that, that's why I'm going to stay. No, 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 no. It's very important for you to make that decision. It's very for you to make that decision, that what are you going to do? Are you going to stay in this situation and die? Or are you going to get out? Or is he going to get out? What are you going to do? You have to do something. You cannot live a lie. Being a Christian, Psalm 118, verse 17 says, I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. You shall not die. You will not die. You will not die before your time. You will not die, but you will live. You will get the help that is available. You will think, I will live and I shall not die. And if your children are grown, yeah, you need to be there for your grandchildren and for your children, for your friends that love and care for you. All right. And you can pray and pray, but faith without works is dead. You need to do something. You need to open your mouth and say, enough is enough. That is, that is so important. Yes. Don't be caught in a trap of abuse and feel that it's acceptable. Don't be caught in a trap of abuse and feel that it's okay. No, it is not okay. It is not normal. And therefore, you need to do something about it. I remember for years I went through abuse. I lost a child at 6 months. I had broken ribs. Yeah. I had burns on my body of hot water that he threw on me, and to this day he's still in denial. But I chose, enough was enough, and I walked away. I chose and I said, no, 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 I cannot do this anymore. And I heard that voice, that still small voice that said, live or die. And I want to say to you today, it's your choice. You have to choose to live and not die. You have to choose to say, enough is enough. I need you to dry your tears. Yes? I need you to dry your tears and begin to think and to make that decision. Today is your wake up call. There are too many women that are dying. And especially during the pandemic, so many women have died, have lost their life because of one person who have chosen to take their life. And I just want to say to you that I want you to make a list of at least 4 people you can trust. I want you to contact an agency, a domestic violence helpline that helps women who experience domestic violence. They will advise and guide you through the process, providing help, support, counseling, and even accommodation. Then, if you don't want to do that, I want to make sure you have enough money to travel to your destination. So decide where it is that you're going to go, okay, and make the arrangements to travel. Decide what you'll be taking with you. You do not want to be overloaded. Plan your departure very carefully. If possible, write very little down. Make sure all your emails are deleted, sent, and received. Change your password regular to prevent problems. Be aware of what you say and do on your cell phone, your mobile phone. Yes? Delete numbers. If your children are older, it is wise to say very little to them. An abuser will use the children to get information of the things that you are doing during the day. So I would say when they're at college, when they're at school, try and do all your planning. Wait until nap time or bedtime to plan and pack, or when they're at school to plan and pack and do what you have to do in contacting agency when he's at work. Now, if he doesn't go to work, then you have to go shopping sometime. Then, when you're out shopping, then that's the ideal time when you're in the store, when you're in the pharmacy. Those are the times where you can go to the restroom and go into the restroom and make calls, talk to someone, or you can text quickly and then delete those texts that you have made. It's so important. Now, you must remember that you are the best judge of your environment. And you must know how to plan appropriately and to plan safely. Therefore, it's important for you to plan accordingly because nothing is impossible. You need to be one step ahead at all times. If you feel that you're in danger and your life is in danger, you must dial 911. Do not hesitate in dialing 911. Do not be afraid if your life is in danger. to dial 911. If he's making threats, telephone 911. And you can also text 911. And on most cell phones, iPhone, if you have an iPhone, you don't even not need to dial, you don't need to text. On the side of the phone, on the right hand side, there is a button. I believe it's the on and off button. If you squeeze that button, then if you, I think it's on the left side, if you squeeze it, it automatically calls the police on your iPhone. Yes, if you're in danger, you just squeeze that and it will immediately call the police. No dialing, just squeeze the side of your phone. I know the side of my iPhone. You squeeze that button and it automatically, because I know when I try to go onto my GPS sometimes and I try to put it in the holder, and sometimes it accidentally, I try and squeeze in the sides, and sometimes it accidentally triggers it up. So it is so important. It is so important. There are means. There are means. You can do something. Do not allow anything to stop you. Do not allow any obstacles to come in the way. Don't allow your house or what you have and your possessions to stop you from making your decision. If your husband or partner is abusive, they can be arrested. There are many options that can be explored. It is important for you that you pluck up the courage and make that contact. If your life is in danger, I'm saying do something. Don't do nothing. Call a friend, call a sister or brother, tell them what you're going through. There are many options that can be explored, and you need to pluck up the courage and make that contact. Say to yourself, nothing is impossible. I'm going to make it. I'm coming out of this. Do everything as normal. Do not be suspicious in your movements or afraid it will show something is wrong. Remember, you've started your step to freedom. This is all in my book. It's called Break the Chain, Angel May, No Excuse for Abuse. And down the side, it's got Angel May, Break the Chain. I say to you to go on Amazon, or if you want to buy the audio, or you're welcome to buy it. All right, but I say it's important for you. Now, when I left and I walked away, I went back to college. I graduated, became a community organizer. Yeah, I established a women's group, attended Bible college, graduated, became an international speaker. Oh, come on. I'm a spiritual life coach. I need you to be confident. Don't give up. Stay focused. Refuse to be distracted. Now, you can make it. You may be hurting right now, but there is a way. Believe you can do it. Have faith in God. And the reason why I say to have faith in God, because that was what kept me through. That's what took me through everything. And the most important thing I want to say to you, love yourself. Do not dwell on the past, and you need to move on. I did. Destiny is waiting for you, and you can make it. And I wrote this poem, and I'm just going to close with this. Every woman is born for a purpose, to love and be loved, to make a difference, to touch a life, to shine, to smile, to break through that glass ceiling, to be a success and achieve the best. And the other poem that I wrote was, Who am I? I'm a woman not to be used and abused, misunderstood, rejected, and denied. I'm a woman fighting back the tears, spent years living in fear. I'm a woman who deserves only the best. Why am I putting up with less? I'm a woman who will reach for the stars. I will not be denied of what is mine. I'm a woman with hopes and dreams. I'm going to make it. I'm a woman determined and strong. I will be a success, for I am blessed. I want to say to you that you are blessed and you will be a success. You'll be a better, you'll be a success, and you will get to the stars if you just make a decision to leave. Make a decision to do something. Make a decision that you will not be abused. You will not silent abuse. You will not be silent, but you will speak and you will do something. You will not die, but you will live. God has created you. You are valued. You are special. You are wonderful. And God has created you for a purpose, that you will live and not die. Choose to live today. Choose to live and not die. Choose to say, I shall not die, but I shall live and declare the works of the Lord. Choose to say, enough is enough. And I'm going to leave you with this number, and where you can contact the various agency. In with the national helpline is 1-800-799-7233. 800-799-7233 in the United States of America. United Kingdom, 0808-2000-247. 0808-2000-247. Choose to live and not die. And you can always contact me on www.breakthechaintoday.com. www.breakthechaintoday.com.